So this is the time of year where we try to find out who is opting out of the bowl game for Ohio State when they don't go to the playoff. But today at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, Wednesday, we found out who is opting in. And it was everybody we talked to, basically, today that would maybe be an early entry candidate. I'm Nathan Baird from cleveland.com along with Stephen Means and Andrew Gillis. And I could just run down the whole list of guys who today confirmed that they are playing in the bowl game. Jack Sawyer, Denzel Burke, Jordan Hancock, Emeka Ibuka, Donovan Jackson, Tyleik Williams. Who am I forgetting? Everybody we talked to, Josh Fryer, Cody Simon, Xavier Johnson, like everybody who was here today are guys who are going to play in the bowl game. I think we got the whole list of potential early entry third-year guys. But this is a big deal because Ohio State's already lost several guys to the transfer portal that were only going to be depth guys for a game like the Cotton Bowl. But to retain the first starting level at some really important positions is obviously gives Ohio State a better chance to maybe win this game. I'm interested to see if the betting line moves. It's been kind of fluctuating up and down. Went way down for Ohio State after Kyle McCord went in the transfer portal back to making Missouri the favorite. This obviously gives Ohio State a much better chance to compete in this game.
Yeah, the only people we didn't talk to today, Marvin Harrison Jr., who already said he's still undecided about everything playing in the game and what his future is, though the future part, JT Tuimoloau and Travion Henderson also did not talk today, so we don't know there yet, but I've said this in a video before. I reached around to some guys last week about Travion Henderson. He's still just as undecided. There is no decision has been made, so if you're seeing anything like that, it's not true. But for everybody else, I think it matters because, and we'll get into this on a separate video, there's going to be a new starting quarterback out there. To have as many experienced, established weapons as possible around that guy against Missouri is a good football team. They're a top 10 team in the country. That matters, and that helps a little bit. Yes, we would love to see what we saw in the Rose Bowl where Marvin Harrison Jr. and Emeka Ibuka came alive because Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson didn't play, and Nicholas Petit-Frere didn't play. Certain guys didn't play, so you got to see some young guys. But that was with a returning, the same starting quarterback, and everything else around it was already established. That's not quite the case this time around, so that's why it matters. Even if this is a meaningless bowl in terms of, they're not competing for a championship, you're going to get a true look at what one of these quarterbacks, especially Devin Brown, could look like going forward if he's your starting quarterback.
Mike Hall Jr., another guy that we didn't get today that would be a third-year guy with a choice to make. And it doesn't include all of the fourth-year, fifth-year guys who are definitely moving on but haven't announced that they're playing in the Cotton Bowl. So all of your Kate Stovers and Tommy Eichenbergs and Steel Chambers and whoever else I'm forgetting in there, Josh Proctor. There's a bunch of guys who are later in their career, and maybe the downside isn't necessarily there for them to go ahead and play, if you know what I mean. Like, I think they are probably in a position to where they could finish strong and go into a game like this. But Andrew, especially considering what he was saying with having to start a new quarterback, getting weapons like Emeka Ibuka, knowing that you're going to have the protection of Donovan Jackson, Josh Fryer, that definitely helps them. I think the impact could be pretty huge on the defensive side of the ball, though, knowing that Tyleik Williams, Jack Sawyer, Cody Simon at the very least, Denzel Burke, Jordan Hancock, a big part of your secondary. This gives them a chance to compete against a Missouri offense that has some pretty good weapons.
Yeah, one of the things that I haven't really been able to kind of get, because I think it varies on each of these players. I think they all wanted to come back for different reasons. I think you can kind of look at some of these guys. A lot of them said the same thing, that they want to end the season on the right way. They have a bad taste in their mouth because of the Michigan game. And you're kind of wondering, like, are they playing in the bowl game because they're coming back? Are they playing in the bowl game because they just want to win a game and play one more game together? And, we've talked a lot about this 21 class. I don't quite know where I stand on that right now. I think it kind of varies on individual player to player. So getting all of those guys in that game, I think, is going to be impactful just because I think this program needs a win. Like, I think this program needs something to feel good about. For the second time in 3 years, you lost to Michigan, and it directly kept you from making the college football playoff. And last year against Georgia, they lose on a last-second field goal. And it just feels like right now, the starting quarterback enters the transfer portal. It just feels like right now this program could use a win. So getting all of those guys on the field is big, not just because, hey, you don't know what their futures are going to be. Maybe this is the last time you see them in an Ohio State uniform. I just think this program really needs to win a game and really needs something to feel good about going into the offseason.
And honestly, if all these guys today had come in and said, like, yeah, I'm not playing in the bowl game because I'm going to the NFL, I'm ready to enter the draft, it would very strongly decrease the chances Ohio State could win this game. Missouri hasn't really had any opt-outs yet, at least among key players, important players. They're going to be at pretty full force for this game. And Ryan Day said that they want to win this game. So there are some people that are still out there that we haven't heard from. Like I said, that those decisions will still be coming in future weeks. But I think what you heard today was that this is a group, and this definitely came through in the way some of these guys talked about it. This was kind of a group, I wouldn't say a group decision, but it was a collaborative decision that they've been talking to each other and kind of saying some of the same things that Andrew was saying, that this is a group that wants to come back and finish strong. And when they won in the 2021 Rose Bowl, that did kind of help them take some momentum into the offseason, which was an offseason of change with new coaches coming in. Jim Knowles was already coming in at that point. And it did give them like sort of a bridge into the next season, which turned out to be a very successful season. And as Andrew said, like one play away from a national championship potentially. So that's what they're going to try to do with this game, build something for the season. When we hear more about opt-outs or opt-ins, we'll be texting about it, 614-350-3315, and get Buckeye Talk wherever you can find it. We'll be talking about the Buckeyes 7 days a week.